Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy KlueDaDon, Country Fan Mail Podcast. Got another really dope interview here. I'm going to do it a little bit different. I usually have the intro, but I'm just going to run it at the beginning, as y'all already saw. So right now, I got a really dope individual on here. I bumped into him a few weeks ago on Instagram. I've been bumping his music ever since. Literally been adding songs to my playlist left and right, and digging deeper into him. And he's really, really influential dude, man. So, without further ado, man, please introduce yourself and tell him a little bit.
Yeah, man. Sean Bennett 618. Like I said, I'm an artist. I'm from Southern Illinois. I live in Las Vegas right now. I've been in Las Vegas for about 4 years now. I'm an artist. That I'm a media director. I run a platform. I do a whole bunch of different things as far as on the internet to help others and help myself as well. But yeah, that's who I am.
For sure. Okay. So I gotta ask you, man. So what was the first song that you listened to when you woke up this morning?
The first song that I actually listened to today, I would have to say it was Beyonce. You Can't Break My Soul. I was just bumping that song this morning.
For sure. Yeah, the album dropped. And, me and my wife was checking it out this morning, and because last night we saw all that stuff that was going on with Khalees, and I don't want to even get too deep into it, but. It's saucy. It's definitely saucy, man. But yeah, definitely had to check out the album. Shout out to Beyonce doing the thing as always. For sure, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So you said you're born in Southern Illinois.
I'm born in Southern Illinois. It's a super small town. It's not even that big, but it's a lot of culture within its own self there. Out there, been through a lot there, and That city pretty much got me into music and wanted to rap and do stuff like that. And then I just kind of ventured off and did my thing from there. But yeah.
Okay. So
it's called Carbondale, Illinois. I always say Southern Illinois because I say Carbondale, people don't be knowing. So I always say it's Southern Illinois, not Chicago, down south of Illinois. So yeah.
For sure. There's somebody else that came from that city too, a basketball player, right? That came from that city.
His name Trey Hudson.
Yeah, where he was on one of your albums, one of your intros.
Yep. He played for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He had to guard Kobe and stuff in the playoffs. Him and Kevin Garnett.
Damn, that's dope. That's crazy. How was it getting that? I don't know if you would call it a cosign or. You know what I'm saying? Getting those props.
Yeah, I mean, actually, like, he was damn near my neighbor when I was a kid. So I kind of always been around him. Knew that. And he had actually started a record label. I was a little younger then, though. And he was into the music and everything. So, like, fast forwarding now and where I'm at with music and stuff, it's kind of good to be able to say, I could put legends like that on my projects, on my songs, and not only, like, get the love from them. I'm, show love back.
For sure, yeah, that was really dope. That was, saying it was really nice to hear. It's always dope when you hear artists getting those, getting those head nods from folk that, because a lot of people, sometimes people forget. Sometimes people forget, and so it's definitely a beautiful thing.
Definitely paved the way. I mean, where I'm from, it's not many rich people where I'm from. So he was one of the ones that we actually got to see, get up out of there and make some. So definitely shout out to Troy.
Word. So keeping in that same time frame, when do you think was the first time that you actually picked up a pen and was like, I'm gonna take my jab at actually writing?
It's crazy because it's been a long time. I actually I started off really just trying to write. Like, I was always good at writing letters to girls and shit like that growing up and stuff. My friends used to be like, man, bro, write this letter for me, all that stuff. So I always knew how to use it. And then I kind of learned the format. I can't remember who taught me the format of how to write music, like as far as the bar setup and everything. But when I figured that out, that's pretty much when I started actually writing music. And I would say age-wise, man, I had to be every bit of 9-10 years old writing songs and stuff. And that's probably the first time I recorded a song. And that was a long time ago. It was tape players. And, we had to use 2 different boom boxes to play the beat. And then I had to tape the other one. So, I'm from that era, originally from that.
For
But
sure.
yeah, I say it was like 9, 10 years old when I really started like doing it and stuff. I had friends that was doing it, so I just wanted to
And who were some of those artists you was bumping at the time? Like some of those
like listening
inspirations.
wise, man. I had range
Yeah.
back then, man, because like I said, I come from a super small town. It's a lot of mixed cultures there, so you can be listening to some country sometimes. You can bump up into some R&B, some rap. So I always was like very diverse with my music. I can always have an ear for everything. But I say around those times when I was young, man, I probably one of my favorites growing up was Mace. I used to love Mace as a kid. Mace, yeah,
Mace
he
was
was
that
hella
dude.
dope.
I was hella
Yeah,
glad when he came back
yeah,
and then he left again.
Mace had his time for sure. My mom, she was big on Tupac. She loved Tupac like to the core. And a lot of R. Kelly, hate to say it, but a lot of R. Kelly. My mama loved that man. And Mary, it is what
It
it
is what
is.
it
That's
is.
just what. But
Yeah.
definitely loved his music for sure. And as far as like rap wise, man, I think I say my inspiration started getting more towards the rap side as I got older. I say the South started taking over. Uh, I used to love the South, like that whole T Easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started like being more interested in, around that eras of music and stuff. So I don't know. I got a real mix of like different music I like. I'm really a big fan of like
Nah, that's
Dipset, New
dope.
York. So it's like I can go from New York to Atlanta and I feel like that's why it always meshed in with me to where I never had one box of a sound. Like if I want to range it out and do an R&B song, I can. If I want to do, a song where it's like boom bop hip hop, we can. Like
Mm-hmm.
not put myself in a box.
I definitely hear that in your music, you know, and just hopping around the tracks. Even today, as I was listening to more, to have more of a focus matter, literally the 4 or 5 tracks that I went into, I'll say about three to four of them had
Yeah.
completely different sounds. But so you could tell it was still you, but it was a completely different message. It was a completely different sound, which I appreciated. And to back up a little bit, I think and this might actually kind of attribute to a lot of the reason why, at least why I believe that your sound is so different. So you're a
Yep,
U.S.
yep,
Army
yep.
veteran.
I was in the military from
Awesome.
2006 into 2010.
Okay, all right, awesome, awesome. So thank you for your service, first and foremost. You literally got out the year that I went in, so I'm an Air Force veteran myself. So definitely shout out to you, man. And I think that kind of I definitely say you could definitely go more into detail about it, but I like to say that when you have veterans that for one, when we get out of the service and we do something that I know you weren't a rapper in the Army, right? So it's like when we get out of the service, you do something completely separate, especially that's art driven or something like that. There's a different type of passion, there's a
Yeah,
different
definitely.
type of outlook on it. Then I feel like a lot of people that are surrounded us in that game. So kind of, say if you
Really,
can kind of give me like
like
maybe some details, not necessarily some details, but like
my
how your
army
Army
experience was
experience.
super great. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually enjoyed it. I liked it. Never had no big issues. I was jumping in ranks pretty cool. I just got bored. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Same thing for years. I
For
knew I
sure.
wanted more out of life. You know what I'm saying? And I was a
What was your job?
lithographer. They don't even have that job anymore. Basically, we was specialized in printing maps and stuff like that. So we printed out maps. Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
why.
It was dope though, but it was like old school job. Like we
Yeah.
was still in the old school times. We wasn't using computers. We was still going by the machines and putting the things on them. It was a lot of work behind it. But once that MOS
Damn.
started to fade away, I had switched over to supply, and I was in the
Mm-hmm.
supply room. And then that was when around the time I got out. But like I always, yeah, yeah,
Supply can
definitely
get
bored.
boring.
But like I always tell people, man, if it really wasn't for the army and certain chapters within that I was going through, I would have never made music because my NCO, my sergeant, he had the studio in his barracks. So I used to just go over there and play around and record all day, all night when I had free
That's
time.
what's
This
up.
is around the time where I was getting out as well. And then, like I said in my album, I think he just got fully tired of me coming over all the time, asking for the key to the room. And then he bought me Pro Tools. And then from that day forward, like I never looked back.
Man, that's amazing. It's dope that you had not motivation, but
Yeah,
people looking out for you, especially that were in your senior COs. That's really dope. And I know a few people while I was in, and they were pursuing music because like I had an interest in music before I joined the military, and then while I was in, I kind of let it go. And I know a few people, especially like one of my good friends, Armani T. He was doing the music the whole time before he was in, after while he was in, after he got out, and you could see the level that he's at, just like yourself. You could see the level that you could tell the shit it never stopped. It's been like a consistent, grind up. So like, how has that process been as far as like master? Or I want to say mastering. I feel like it takes such a long time. People they're a master.
I never feel
they don't want to master.
I never feel like you fully master anything in life because you always learn something new. So you never really master it. But like as far as like while I was in the Army and how I was like balanced.
Well, more so kind of leading up into like where you're at right now. Like when did you feel like you kind of got to that level where you were comfortable with Sean Bennett and how his flow, because so you do have a distinct flow, even though you switch it up, you have a very distinct flow. I would say
honestly, when I actually stopped going by my old rap name, I used to go by Louis Boy Slim, and I felt like that person was a person that didn't really fully know himself yet, but he was trying to get that shit his own, and he was trying things and wanted to learn. And then like slowly, like as time was going and as I was growing up, I wanted to change my subject topic because I didn't want to be the 30-year-old rapper that's still talking about stuff that kids is doing. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to like be the difference and like just not be what like, cause my city got a lot of rappers, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them are older, and I think they started to realize they didn't create another lane for when they reached this age and this stage in their life. They stuck it to where it was at, and now it's like, if I go on camera now and rap about guns and violence that I ain't doing on a day-to-day basis, I'm going to look like a clown. So I think that's why a lot of people starting to fall back on music back home, because they never created that next lane for themselves. I always was a person looking for 5 years later, 10 years down the line. And like, people ask all the time when I'm going to stop making music, and I can't ever answer that. I don't know. It's just like one of them things.
I feel like, why they ask you that question? Like, I don't understand why people ask people that question. Like,
yeah, I don't understand.
Like, think what?
I think it's one of those things, like people think because you didn't make it in their eyes, what's making it to them, or getting signed, or you feel they feel like you should just give up. And my thought process behind that is, it's deeper than me signing a deal. That's not my trophy day. That's not the day everything changes and my problems is over, and that's it. Like, you have to be a like winner within. You have to know, like, it doesn't matter what age I'm at. I never stop making music just off the strength of I still have something else to give to this world. Once I leave, then everything that I gave will still be here. So why stop? I always say, why stop? I don't know. People weird. I don't know. I just don't, I keep it going.
They definitely are, man.
Yeah.
Already, man. Shit, as long as you got that mindset, because I definitely feel like that sentiment is weird. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Everybody's
so different.
level of
I feel like
success
people now, in the years we in now, everybody want validation for somebody, and you really don't need. Just do you while you here, and take your business, make the people around you happy, and make yourself happy, and you good. And people ask me how when people say stuff like that, or you ain't signed a deal yet, man, you deserve to make it. I already made it in my eyes. I'm 34 years old, just turned 34 yesterday, and I'm alive. Yeah, appreciate it.
Happy birthday,
I'm alive. I'm free. My family good. I'm good. I feel like I made it. Every
for sure, man. I like that, man. So speaking of that validation, not necessarily validation. Well, I'll say validation, because sometimes getting validated by people who have been in the game for a little bit, regardless of what stature they're on, it matters. And this is kind of segueing into your organization, the Overlooked Heroes. Yeah, man, I was looking into that, and for one, y'all only been around since like around October 2021. Man, like y'all done a lot, and it ain't been buzzing like crazy. So tell me about
Heroes,
that, man.
Honestly, it was one of them things, like when I was in LA 2020, like right around COVID, right before COVID came, I went to LA and I got invited to get on this TV show called Track Life. And basically, it was a show set up for independent artists that they gave us a stage to perform on, and they did mic performances. And this was my first time seeing a mic performance with people like recording and stuff like that. I never seen the whole process and everything. So I caught wind of that inspiration from that. So shout out to Track Life, and then
For sure.
From the Block popped up, and then they started doing their thing, and then I'm like, that's back home in, Illinois, where they started that from. And I'm like, that'd be perfect to start something like that on the West Coast while nobody's doing it. So that was my whole thought process with it. And when I first started it, I put everything together. Shout out to the first artist that let us shoot. And we just didn't look. It was one of them things. We just never looked back. People started tapping in. We started a tour now. We go to other cities. Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger. But it's kind of hard to balance everything.
Yeah.
But I make it work. I work 2 jobs. They get a lot of my time on top of that. So I work 7 days a week. I film probably 3-4 times a week. And I still got to balance my life and with my career and stuff like that. So I find time to make everything happen.
Yeah.
But it's never enough hours in a day. I mean, we already know that. So when we make it.
And that's crazy. You're doing all that, and you have the opportunity to still put so many people on, and still people will look at you and think that you haven't made it. Because that seems like you made it. Like, honestly, to be able to have that type of platform. I mean, October 2021, y'all pushing like, 1,400 subscribers on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, the videos going up. The artists are dope. It's not like y'all are putting out, trash stuff.
Yeah.
And the production's good too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's only getting better. You start somewhere, and then you go look. I'll be looking back at older videos, like, man, look how stuff was then and how it is now. So it's going in the right direction.
Sure.
It's definitely going in the right direction. We just keep putting it in. We'll be in August 12th through the 13th for another tour in LA. This will be in August.
You said
it'll be our second time touring LA. And this time we got a lot of different artists tapping in. So looking to cover a lot of people.
For sure. Hey, that's what's up. I'm gonna have to catch one of those. And let me know if y'all ever hit up here in Sacramento.
You said that because
sure,
I just had an artist hit me up 2 days ago from Sacramento, and he said, they need type of stuff like that out there. And I told him like I tell everybody that be hitting me from other cities, if you can get me up to 10 artists that's down the book, I'll fly out. Like,
hey, I got you. About 5 of them right now. Like, literally in the holster.
I definitely fly out. And that's just how we trying to rock out and do it. I want to tap every small city, large city, whatever I can tap on the West Coast. I want to strictly do it for the West Coast. So that's my thing for the West Coast.
We definitely talk more of that. We're gonna talk more of that offline for sure. But I like that, man. So I was thinking about getting a little controversial with this next question about overlooked heroes, but I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna say who's the best person, who you think is one of the best artists. But I will ask you, who do you think was one of the most memorable artists and one of the most memorable performances on the?
I would say,
on your page?
Man, it's been so many.
Man, y'all got a catalog, bro. I talked to a lot of people.
Called me with a question. One interview was like, name some of the artists. I'm like, shit, it'd be so many. I can't even name you my top. But I will say, recently I recorded 2 guys, and they pretty much and it's kind of hard for me to really overall like the song, like how the video came out. That's a perfect overlook. And I'll say the one I just recently recorded by Pierre, his name was Pierre, and his homie, theirs was hard. And then I got another one, I remember it was a Korean guy. Funny as hell. And I knew his music, but my friend didn't know his music like that, so he didn't know how he was coming. And I was telling my homie, like, bro, he a good performer. Like, he's going to come through, do his thing, and, So, man, he came through.
That's what's up.
He did 2 takes. Well, it was 2 different takes, but he did it all in 1 take. Boom, boom, smooth. And that came out to be like one of my favorite ones that I did. And my own one that I recently did, I finally did my own. Everybody wanted me to do my own, and I just didn't want to do it at first because I wanted the platform to grow without my face being on it. And then once we upgraded all the cameras and stuff, I wanted to go out there and test it out. So I took that opportunity to film my own. So that was one I really
what's up.
enjoyed when I did my own hard.
That's what's up. I think it's important to finally get out there and do that, and especially when you build a platform about other people. Like one of my homies had just asked me not too long ago. He was like, "Yo, like when I gotta do an interview about you on your podcast," I was like, "I don't want to do no interview about me," but now I have to think about it, and I was like, I mean, I've been talking to a lot of people. I think it might be opportunity to flip the camera. One time, especially if you have something. Going on.
I always say never limit yourself either, man. Content is content.
That's facts. That's big facts. And I don't know if your camera went out. I don't know if you can still see me. Okay, cool. But yeah. So kind of moving on, man. Because speaking of something that you recently dropped, and it was actually the first song that I recognized or that I heard you on was your remake of Daddy Issues. And the Kendrick Lamar Daddy Issues, man. Like for one, before we even get too deep into it, man. Like I think that from that Kendrick album, every time I listen to it, I hear something else or I feel something else that I didn't necessarily get before. And I'm glad that I keep re-listening to it because I'm a huge Kendrick fan. So that first time I was like, oh, okay, this is all right. It's some good tracks. It's all right. But then next time I listen to it, I'm like, it's getting better and better. It goes with time. And I already knew a lot of people was going to be trying to jump on some of those tracks. And I wasn't excited because some people just don't be doing shit justice. But man, you did that shit.
I take pride.
You did that shit
in doing freestyles and remakes when I try to do them because I don't do them too much. But when I first started making music, that's how I came out. I was just remixing stuff, and a lot of people got onto the remixes. Then I slowed down and I started probably pushing 1 or 2 a year. And people, they heard the remixes, they knew I was dropping the little remixes. And then randomly, man, like I said, I got a new camera. I just got this, so I've been trying to learn how to shoot my own video. So me and my guy, he hold the camera, and we went out there and started shooting, playing around. We did the Tupac one first, and that's when I came up with the idea for the Soulful Sunday. At the time, I'm like, every Sunday for the month of July, I was gonna just drop every Sunday a new video. We gonna go out there, shoot it. I come home, edit it. So once I did the Tupac one, because I did that song earlier this year. I just never did anything with it, and I'm like, I gotta start getting on the Legends beats. The ones that people put on these type of pedestals. Because I feel like I can hold my own on y'all stuff. People look at it a little different. So J. Cole was my first stop. I'm like, I gotta get on to J. Cole. He's one of my favorites. Been one of my favorites, you know what I'm saying? And I never ever got on the J. Cole beat ever. So it was like dope when I finally.
That's respect, though. That's respect. You know what I'm saying? You don't play around with stuff like that.
I don't play like that. I don't hop on that stuff like that. But I finally got it. When I got that J. Cole one out the way, I was like, feed me another one. Let me get this Kendrick out the way because it's rolling. And always.
And honestly, once you can get J. Cole, you should be able to get Kendrick. And I'm not trying to compare them, but it's like just that level of being able to adapt. If you can rock a J. Cole beat,
I did it the next morning. I'm like, that's the song on Kendrick album. I always went and started the album on and played over and over when I hopped in the gym or whatever. It was always, I love that beat. It was like, so when I got the beat, I was like, it's time to just do something to this too. And I just kept it going, did that. And I wanted to keep the Soulful Sunday thing going. But my homie, he went to truck driver school, so he was out for weeks. So we're going to bring it back in August and keep it more consistent and stuff. But it was something worth trying, and I got a lot of new fans and new people off the remixes and stuff like that. So it all worked out how I wanted it to work out. And it was cool. Everybody liked it. That's all. I don't really be caring if people like it or not. That ain't how I live or how, But it's good when you do see people actually respect it and like it because beats like that ain't the easiest things to get on and actually be able to keep somebody's attention. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, putting out stuff is hard, man, for anybody. You know what I'm saying? I respect, and I always had so much respect for any artist, anybody, any creative that's putting out stuff. Gotta respect them because it's not an easy task to put out something for it to be criticized by the world. You know what I'm saying? Before, I feel like at the time that we grew up, if you put something out, it was literally what you could put out physically. And then the internet came and it got a little bit easier, but you still wasn't pushing out stuff. And then, MySpace, started popping. You know what I'm saying? It was like a slowly kind of a trickle before you had
even
random
just going
people
through all
listening
those
to your
years
shit.
of life
You know what I'm saying?
and being able to still be here. it made our skin a little tougher about certain things because we came from that era where everything you hear something from somebody, you got to be right in front of that person. You got to hear from that source. And now you popped up on the internet. People talk about you.
Yep.
People got a voice on the internet now. You know what I'm saying? Stuff they won't say in real life, they'll say on the internet. You know, so
they'll never tell somebody that shit was whack in real life. Yeah,
born when I was born,
it ain't gonna come off like that.
And being able to go through all the technology changes in life, because you got to think we came from an industrial type lifestyle. We know we were probably. I was born in '88, so you know, coming in the '90s and being able to be old enough to know what's going on and the changes and everything, you know, it's just it's a blessing to me. Like, I started music when we was doing tape, like I said, tape players. So then we graduated. Yeah, graduated to the.
It's an advantage.
You know, everything just started.
I think
changing.
It's an
So
advantage.
It's good. It's love. I said I appreciate even being able to still do it. I got people that started and they let it go, and I'm still pushing, dropping dope shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I still got more to give, so I'm just giving. And I got an album I've been working on too. I always take pride in my projects. I love my projects because I know that's what's gonna be here when I'm gone. So yeah,
I could tell, man. You definitely put a lot of pride in your projects, bro. They always name something that is pretty prolific. One name that your birthday one year. So
you can't die twice.
You don't die twice. You can't die twice. Yeah. And actually one of those tracks, I want to say it was actually it might have been 31. Hopefully I'm not saying it wrong, but the intro was intro worth listening
to. Ain't No Best.
Or was that the tape before that? Got you, man. So, I mean, I don't know. So, sometimes people were like, well, actually, no. I'm gonna ask.
Oh, with the sound bite when he was like, that was at the time I was working for like a mentorship with kids, and that's one of my I still talk to him to this day type kid. He was real cool, big bush boot. So I just came up with the idea. I'm like, on this song, I want somebody to say I'm trash. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. I was like, man, because that don't sound like him. Like, did somebody really call him?
I do it. I'm like, that's perfect. Go ahead and do it. And he did. So yeah, I was just trying to flip the script on that one. But it's crazy to say I take pride in names and stuff because a lot of people, when I dropped 31, the mixtape, if you go look at the track list on there, every name that I named it has something to do with the number 31. For instance, Reggie Miller, number 31.
Reggie, that makes so much sense of why that song. First song was Happy Birthday.
Died at 31.
Yeah.
And I got a song on there called Nat Turner. And it's just so many different flips from it, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I take pride in projects and I try to do stuff like that. And then when people hear it or they don't know it and they be like, oh, okay, I see it. It make them more, appreciate it for sure. But yeah.
For sure. Yeah, it definitely does. I didn't realize that Reggie Miller was one of the songs that I actually wanted to talk about. But yeah, I dedefinitely didn't appreciate that reference at all. But I mean, didn't understand that reference. But yeah, that song Reggie Miller, saying you were you I can't remember the exact word that or the exact way that you put it, but you used the metaphor of Reggie Miller being great amongst a whole bunch of regular ass people. And it's just like, so I got to shine. I got to take my team regardless of all these regular people around me. So not actually figure out the best way to answer that question. Do you feel kind of like that, on a regular basis? Like, do you, not necessarily by your peers, but as far as the game?
That's why that reference kind of was so perfect. And just that song in general, because, when Reggie Miller was balling, he was balling, but you on the East with Michael Jordan, you ain't going to get too far, then you got East with Orlando. So Reggie Miller had a great career, but it was damn near overshadowed by because he was, Michael Jordan. Same thing with who would I say now? LeBron James doing the same thing, or Steph Curry doing the same thing to people. It's a lot of great numbers and stuff, but they ain't gonna see none of that shine because of them type of players is running it. So yeah, I look at stuff like that, like how the industry is, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it be. Sometimes you gotta.
And how did you maneuver that though? How did you find your way to kind of stick out?
People, like I always say, Nipsey said it best. It's never a race. It's always a marathon. People fall out of races, but as long as you keep continuing, the marathon is what you really want to complete at the end of the day. So you just got to keep going. I feel like a lot of people, when we was rapping back home, because we had a nice little local rap scene back home, 618, we had a nice scene. But I feel like all of us was more in competition with each other, so that's what kept us going. And certain people started leaving. I ended up moving, and then it's like, nah, it's no rap scene no more. Like, it's just, and so it's like, you just gonna keep going for yourself, or, and that's how I looked at it when I moved here. I'm like, I'm not gonna stop rapping. It's like, elevate, grow, and I'm in the best area I could be in. And yeah, just take it up from there, and that's just what I've been doing. Just can't let up though. That's all.
Never take that. Never take your foot off
that ain't even just rapping. That's anything you doing in life. You just never want to let up at it. Never give up. Keep that shit going. You're gonna always level up. Every year is gonna be a new year. You're gonna be doing something different. I'm not doing what I was doing last year or the year before. I'm keep doing different things. So got to keep growing.
For sure. Alrighty, man. Definitely. And I you kind of mentioned it before, and I meant to ask you earlier. How has life been in Vegas? Because I've been to Vegas a lot more, I'll say, in the last 5 to 6 years than probably ever in my life. And I was with somebody that used to live out there, and it opened my eyes up to a whole new side of Vegas. Because not being from there, you just think Vegas is nothing but the Strip. You get out there, you got North Vegas, you got, you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because I move a lot. I've been in different cities, different local scenes. Because before here, I was in North Carolina, Fayetteville. Okay, yeah. So I was in Fayetteville. After I got out the Army, I just ended up staying out there, and I fucked with Fayetteville. But I always respect everybody's, whatever culture they got, whatever music thing. I always came with respect more than anything. So I always felt like people always appreciated me and brought me in with open arms. But Las Vegas was different, as far as the environment, the heat. It took a lot, but one thing it's a lot going on outside the Strip over here. I don't be in the mix and the logistics of everything that be going on, but as far as music wise, they got a local scene that they trying to put together, and it's getting there. And I've been seeing it since 2018, and from where it's at now, it's growing and growing. So, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Vegas got something going. Shout out to the homie, Rich Souls. Rich Souls out there in Vegas. He's definitely doing this thing.
That sound real familiar.
I'm trying to think of another way. He had a lot of stuff. I mean, he raps. He has he got an organic line going. He got a podcast. You see a light skin dude, hella long dreads or locks. Yeah, real cool cat. But yeah, Rich Souls with a Z. Definitely, tap in with him. He real cool cat, man. For sure, man.
Vegas.
But bringing it on.
They helped me build a platform. Basically, because without the Vegas artists, I wouldn't even have that platform going. So, yeah, I folks.
Facts. Yeah, you got to show up. Alrighty, man. So yeah, man, bringing it full circle, man. What would be if you had an opportunity to get a message out to everybody in the world?
My message, I always just leave them with every day do what makes you happy in life. It could be the smallest thing is going to get a milkshake. If that's what makes you happy, just do it. Do that every day. Do more of that. Because I always feel like if people can bring peace within themselves, they can bring peace within the world. And shit can just be body. So yeah, always do something that makes you happy daily. You'll be alright.
Easy. No said, man. Once again, I appreciate you coming on to the platform, bro. It's been a really dope interview. Real easy talking, man. So please let everybody know where they can find you on social media, where they can hear your music.
Sean Bennett 618. You will find me, man. Like I said, from the music to my YouTube channel with my vlogs that everybody love watching, from me sitting there smoking weed, talking shit. You can just find me at Sean Bennett.
And the shoes.
I need to get
the shoes too. Can't forget the shoes.
Yeah, all that, man. Just tap in, find me. I'm always doing something new. Every year I'm doing something new. So.
Already, man. Already. Now, I'll make sure that I have all those links in the description below. Thank you so much, everybody that listen, everybody that's watching on YouTube. Make sure that you tap in, include the motherfucking Don Country Family Podcast. It's another one. Yeah.